and you're listening to Frey. Starting right now. Here's your host Alfredo Leon.
Hi, Caroline, this is Deep Frey as EA will be making changes to coming to Need for Speed Payback's progression system. There was a lot of criticism of the progression system in the game's reviews, and as a result, the in-game payouts have been adjusted in response to that feedback. Developer Ghost Games says there will be more changes on the way. The rep, which is an indication of a driver's level and bank, which is the in-game currency to unlock parts and upgrades, will be increased for all events throughout the game according to Ghost Games on the Need for Speed subreddit. Here's YouTuber Theo Thomas, aka BlackPanthaa, speaking about the changes coming to Payback and not having to grind for spins and more.
This update changes quite a bit about the game. The idea that we had behind how it works to level up, that sort of thing. I was mentioning in previous videos on my money guide that you do not buy parts anymore. You do buy parts now. Parts on shops have now been made a million times better, and to prove it, we have a 393 car, and this thing we're going to fully upgrade. So let's go. Tune-up shop, everything right here is level 18, except some of the end parts. But you get the idea, everything is just made to be better in this car, in this game now, upgrade-wise. I've already got a level 8. This is a level 18 part that I span for, I think. Actually, I might have got at the end of event. I can't even remember, to be exactly fair. But we've got mostly level 18s, and we have a level 16 head. So let's have a look in here, see if we've got a head. And there we are. Slap that in. With 399. So inside the shop, things have been made so much better. And one thing I'm really happy about is in this shop, I've never really seen anything sold in here that is level 18 with 2 perks. It might be very rare, it might be impossible. I hope that 3 perk parts are not able to actually obtain, and I'm hoping that we actually have to spin for those, because otherwise it makes the bloody spins useless. They've practically made the spins absolutely useless, which to most people will be great, because you don't have to earn those grindy spins anymore, you can just buy parts. But obviously this doesn't really have a brand anything, so let's try and spin for a head quickly, but so much easier to level up your cars now, and spending money on parts is recommended. You've got nothing else to save your money for anymore. It's pointless to save your money. You get it back so quickly in this game, there is no point.
The rep also goes for finishing an event, but not winning it. Payouts to rep and bank for finishers lower than first place will also go up, as said by Ghost Games. Also, the roving racers, NPCs, who drive all over the open world map and challenge on the spot, will also give up more rep and bank for beating them. These tweaks are just the beginning, Ghost Games said. Coming shortly will be some changes to the way tune-up shops work, especially around the quality level of parts they stock, the studio said. More on that soon. In Payback, players upgrade their cars by purchasing parts cards out of tune-up shops located throughout the map. The parts are available at random times and refresh at certain intervals, typically 30 minutes. Parts are also obtained by exchanging 3-part tokens for one roll targeted to a certain part of the car's equipment, such as engine block, brakes, nitrous, and more. Parts tokens are earned by winning events or by trading in old equipment. In addition to conferring an upgraded part, these rolls will generate a parts card that has more benefits which affect some other part of the car as a bonus. We do encourage you to recycle your speed cards for tokens, Ghost Games wrote. Targeted rolls are a very good alternative to tune-up shops. Definitely worth buying out the parts from the tune-up shop and recycling them. Despite these changes, still the progressive system was widely criticized by reviewers for taking too long. Many drivers felt the low payouts for winning events that they already beaten in order to either upgrade the car for tougher challenges or to buy a new one altogether. Changes that Ghosts made over the weekend and the ones coming later look like they're addressing that disappointment. Payback does employ loot crates, which are referred to as shipments that can upgrade a car quickly but cannot be bought for bank. They're bought with speed points, which are only available for real money. A typical shipment contains parts tokens, a chunk of bank currency, and a cosmetic item that can be exchanged for more bank. All this stuff can be used at a tune-up shop to get the parts a player wants. Daily shipments are awarded free for logging in, with the payouts in smaller amounts. Ghost also says to keep an eye on social media channels for news on when the updates will drop. Until that point, play something else. The racing in Payback is fine, but with the amount of issues it has from its tech standpoint, as well as how awful the dialogue and writing is, you're better off spending your time with a better game. I kind of agree with that. Even though they've made better changes to the game, there's still a lot of issues, especially with the money system. But they addressed that by allowing you to progress a lot quicker. There was a lot of criticism by reviewers saying that the game had issues with progression, that you have to repeat the same races, as that's one of the flaws in the game. So that's a step there as far as the game is trying to improve. But there's still a lot of issues, obviously, with the game. As the physics is one big issue with Need for Speed that has been a big issue since Ghost Games took over, and it's something that a lot of players are turned off by. And I don't blame them because it affects how the car handles and stuff. They've made a lot of improvements to the game, but this is one step to try to do it. Because a lot of players have been complaining about it, but this isn't the only thing players are complaining about. They're complaining about free roam, no cops, I understand that, and especially no online free roam. That's another issue. But this system is very good because players are not going to be able to afford to play that long, and they're not going to have time to play, especially when they have other things to do. With the YouTubers, like BlackPanthaa, he's got time to do that stuff because that's his job. But it makes sense to be able to make this improvement because now not a lot of emphasis is put on buying part tokens. I said before the game came out, the part tokens are there, but if you want to pick a specific part, you could get that by buying it itself, which is pretty cool. But this isn't going to sway me to get the game because there's been a lot of criticism of the game, a lot of issues such as GameSpot, IGN giving them pretty poor ratings. But still, this is something else with the game that they're trying to make better. They're trying to make a step towards it. I'm not planning on getting the game right now, but if they continue to get better, who knows? But I'm leaning towards not getting the game right now. Especially, I don't want to be playing a bad game. No disrespect to them. They're trying to do their best, but they still have a lot of issues with the game. Online free mode and no cops in free mode. That's a big issue that a lot of people have been talking about. But they're trying to improve with what they can. This is a step towards improving. Try to allow players to be able to make more money and not repeat the same races because it is annoying to keep repeating the same races, especially when you're doing the story missions. And this is a great way to do it. And now it doesn't put any more emphasis on buying parts, on grinding for them, so you could be able to work through the game faster. And the fact that you could be able to make up money, BlackPanthaa said the same thing. You could be able to make up the money a lot quicker now, not having to worry about buying these things is really good because not really about having to go through the shipments and grind and roll them it's very good. Even though it saves you money, but it doesn't matter now because the payouts doubled in the races. Even if you don't win, you still get a decent amount of money. And this really helps in that cause to try to improve the game, which is important because a lot of players are not getting the game, but people are still getting it either way. But as far as they want to try to get more people to play it, this could be a step towards doing that. But they still got a lot of things to address, such as online free roam. I'm not sure if they're going to address free roam cops. Maybe they will, but as far as the currency is concerned, it's a good thing that they're not worried about port tokens and shipments. But yeah, a lot of people were complaining about Star Wars Battlefront 2, the same issue with these crates and the part tokens and all that stuff. Well, not exactly that, but they still have a lot of issues with that stuff with updates and everything like that. People are complaining about it a lot because of all the issues with the game. And even complaining a lot about these roll things and all this other stuff with EA. But people don't want to grind that much for tokens. And they don't want to keep repeating the same race because it'll just take too long. And there's other stuff like worth doing than just doing this. So as far as Payback is concerned, I think it's better to wait until it gets better. Hopefully it improves enough that critics could change their mind and say it's okay to play the game. But as of right now, it's not worth playing. I'm not going to get it because there's a lot of issues with the game, and I don't want to worry about dealing with all these issues. Even though it looks like a good game racing-wise, the races are fun, even though the cheesy dialogue and all that stuff, but that's not really that important. But the big issue is all these issues with the game as far as the progression is concerned, not making a lot of money, which is something that has to be addressed, which is being addressed, which is a good thing, because they need to get this game fixed and make it playable for more people to get the game, because that has a lot of issues, and the physics is a big thing, but I don't know if they're going to address that, but still, they got to be able to keep improving the game as much as possible, make it more easy on the players to try to progress, because without that, players are not going to be able to progress throughout the game, and it's important that players want to enjoy the game and be able to have fun with it, especially be able to make money and be able to afford parts on cars. They don't want to repeat the same races because it gets annoying, and that turns players off too. Like, I can understand why you don't want to keep doing that. It just makes sense to try to progress through the game and not keep repeating. What's the point of progressing? Not progressing through the game by keep doing the same event. You're falling behind, sort of. And it doesn't make any sense to try to do that because it's important to try to make progress throughout the game in order to keep players interested. That's the purpose of progression, is to try to progress through the game and make more progress and try to improve. So it makes no sense that they were doing this at the first place, and that's probably why the critics have given it a bad review. But that's just one of the reasons. There's still a lot of other reasons why the game has issues. But this is a good step forward for Payback and EA and Ghost games to try to get this more playable to other guys as well. But we'll see what happens with that. If they can keep improving, that'd be great. Maybe I'll play it, but I'm leaning towards not at this point. We'll see what they could do if they can make more changes to the game. And fix those issues with those loot boxes, which a lot of people have been complaining about, especially with Star Wars Battlefront 2. We'll see what happens there. Should be something. We'll see if they could address this and make it playable for those that haven't played it, like myself. If they could make it like that, maybe I'll play it, but I'm not playing it right now because I don't want to play a game that's considered bad, and I may not like it as a result. Even though there are YouTubers that are recommending it, like BlackPanthaa, because he's biased toward the game. But still, we'll see what happens if I'll get it or not. But I'm leaning towards no at this point. But if they keep making changes, who knows? But like I said, I'm leaning towards not at this point. But keep making changes, Ghost, and who knows? You'll get more players to come play it. That's why sometimes you're hesitant to buy certain games at a certain point. But if this is a good way to address the issues with the game, with the progression, making more money easier, because people want to customize their car. They want to finish the game as soon as possible. They don't want to play a long time because they have other things to do. They have lives, most likely. Most of these guys aren't like BlackPanthaa that do that for a career. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.